What does the construction industry look like in Charlotte? So today I want to take a quick look at the state of the construction industry in Mecklenburg County. And so the first thing I've got here that you can see on the screen is where are the jobs located in the construction industry in Mecklenburg County? And so you can see some of the top zip codes for construction jobs in Mecklenburg County are 28273, 28217, and 28269. Some of the top zip codes in the area, and you can see the full regional map here with that concentration on the west and east sides of Charlotte. And then looking at kind of the summary of this industry, you can see strong employment in this industry. Over 40,000 individuals are employed in the construction industry locally, slightly below the national average. And then when we look at that in terms of earnings per job, again, strong earnings, just around $80,000 a year. And that is just below the national average, but it's important to note that for a similarly sized area, the average earnings per job is actually closer to $70,000. So Mecklenburg County is doing a lot better than a similarly sized metro. And again, that consumer price index with the lower cost of living here in the South accounts for that variation with the national average. And then lastly, again, you can see over on the right-hand side, we're above national average in terms of demand for hires and job postings recently. So you can see there's been strong demand and strong growth in demand for construction workers. And looking at the historical trends of demand for the construction industry, this is what we can see here is the overall growth of this industry in Mecklenburg County compared to the national average. So you can see in 2016, we were just above the national average for employment. We witnessed an 8% growth between 2016 and 2021, projected to see another 3% growth, and still tracking closely to that national average of growth in this industry. And looking at diversity for this industry, you can see there are about 9,000 individuals that are at risk of retiring soon. So again, as we think about that aging workforce, this industry is slightly below the national average for that retirement risk, that exposure as an industry here locally. In terms of racial diversity, there are just over 13,000 racially diverse individuals employed in this industry locally. Again, slightly below the national average. When we look at gender diversity, however, we see over 7,000 women employed in this industry, and that is, again, above the national average here. So strong gender diversity locally as compared to nationally in this industry, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. The next thing I really want to zoom into are the unemployment trends in this industry. So you can really see the impact of the pandemic on unemployment in this industry. But if you look at the low point from 2019 right here in September, you can see that as of December 2021, we're actually at a lower level of unemployment in this industry than we were at any point in 2019. So again, have fully recovered from the pandemic in terms of unemployment for this industry. And if you look at those demographic details that we touched on earlier, again, you can see the individuals that are at close to that retirement age here, 55 and up. But you can see the vast majority of individuals employed in this industry are between the ages of 25 and 54. Looking at that by race ethnicity, you can see almost 70% of this industry's employees are white, followed by 15 to 16% Hispanic or Latino individuals, and then 10-11% Black or African American individuals employed in this industry. And then, like we mentioned, following up on that gender breakdown, while we're above the national average in terms of gender diversity for this industry, it is still a heavily male-dominated industry with over 80% of the employees in this industry being male. And looking at this industry from an occupational lens, again, of 60%, a vast majority of these occupations are construction occupations, although followed closely by that management occupations at 11 or 12%. So it's still a significant number of management occupations that we'll look at in terms of some of the job postings here. And so that's what I'm getting into here. As you can see on the left-hand side, the number of employers in our region, some of the top companies within the past 12 months hiring for construction jobs. And on the right-hand side, an occupational breakdown. What are some of those top occupations in demand over the past 12 months? And so again, you can see a lot of those management positions, project managers, construction superintendents, construction managers. So you can see that breakdown from an occupational standpoint. And then if you're really looking to get in an occupation in this industry, what does that look like in terms of skills? What skills are in demand in this industry? And so over the past couple of years, you can see the top two have remained unchanged: understanding construction and understanding subcontracting. There's been a little bit of movement at the top with a couple of the other skills, but two skills specifically I did want to call attention to that have been increasing in demand over the past couple of years, likely with a lot of supply chain issues. You can see purchasing has been one skill. You can follow that line to see that's been increasing in demand as a skill over the past couple of years, as well as invoicing, another skill that has been increasing in demand over the past couple of years in this industry. And when we look at the economic impact of this industry on our region, you can see this industry contributed just under $4 billion in earnings to our regional economy last year. So again, this industry represents a significant impact on contributing to our local economy and generating earnings for our workforce, and also contributed just under $200 million in taxes to our region. And then the last thing I've got here is some breakdown of the supply chain analysis, the gap analysis. This is something that economic development is heavily focused on, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But here you can see some of those other industries that the construction industry heavily depends on, or they have a lot of business between these various industries, and how that breaks down between purchases in our region versus purchases outside of our region. And so that's all I've got for you today, but I hope you've enjoyed this quick construction industry snapshot.